What's up, guys? Today we will be talking about 5 reasons why you should buy the Pixel 6 Pro here. So it's been almost a month and I've really been enjoying this phone. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first reason are the cameras. So the cameras on the Pixel 6 Pro are my favorite cameras in any smartphone that I've tested this year. It's my go-to camera. And again, you know, coming from using like the iPhone 13 Pro and even the Galaxy S21, this is my go-to camera. I really like how the photos come out on this, especially how skin tones come out in just color in general. And also everything else about the cameras are pretty solid. Detail and everything. They're really cool. Magic eraser feature that they have on here just seems really seamless to use. And the camera specs, it's a triple camera setup. It's a 50 megapixel standard, a 48 megapixel telephoto with 4x optical zoom, and then you have a 12 megapixel ultra wide. I think the only thing this camera is missing is a macro camera, but it also has 4K video at 60 and an 11.1 megapixel selfie cam. That's actually an ultra wide cam, so it can get out really far. If you have like a group setting, you can get everybody in the shot, and that shoots at 4K 30. And I've just been really impressed with the Pixel shots. I mean, there's a ton of detail with the cameras on here. I think the night mode is incredible on here. It does an excellent job. And like I said, skin tones are awesome on here. It does a better job. That was one of my main reasons. It's just a much better job than the iPhone to me with handling skin tones, especially with, of course, like people of color and stuff like that. That's one of the things Google was talking about, and it does a really good job with the AI and stuff like that. And yeah, I just absolutely love the cameras on the Pixel 6 Pro. So I'm by no means like a camera person. You know, I don't like to take photos like that, but when I do, this is like a reliable shooter for me, color-wise, dynamic range-wise. It's just a really nice camera. Now, I still think video is better on the iPhone. Video is pretty good on the Pixel 6 Pro, but I think it could be a little bit better, especially that ultra-wide video. It just seemed really inconsistent to the main lens. But other than that, guys, this is an awesome camera, guys. Alright, next would be Android 12. So I think this is a huge part of the Pixel experience. Just how smooth this phone is with Android 12 and how everything's laid out. This was my first introduction into Android 12. Prior to using this phone, I had never used Android 12, and man, it's super smooth. I love how everything's laid out, and they do a lot of little stuff in here, like how all the animations are just really fluid and how everything works, and how you can sort of customize you know, the colors. They keep everything really basic without it seeming like it's overwhelming like with some other skins. So even like, say I changed the wallpaper right here, and you can see the colors will start to change with it. And that was not a good example. Let me do it again. Let's try this one right here, and you can see, and it'll change the colors for me automatically, which I thought was really cool. So you can see the colors did a slight shift there, and little stuff like that is just really cool. Not only that, it's just extremely smooth experience on here. I just don't really notice any lag or stutter with this phone at all, which is really nice. Like I said, everything's animated. And also, one of the best things about these Pixel devices is that when Android 13 comes out, you'll be the first to get that. So if you're somebody that really cares about the software experience, Pixel phones are going to be great for you, because as soon as it comes out, you're the first to get it. Any major updates, you're going to be the first to get it to Android. So I just think it's an awesome experience, and especially I think everything meshes together really well, especially with the display on here. I think that definitely you know, just meshes together with Android 12, because Google has a 120 hertz HDR10 plus panel at 1440p at 6.7 inches. So it's a massive display, super smooth. So when you see all the animations in 120 hertz and everything, how smooth it is, it's like, man, it's a really nice, you know, it's a really nice experience. So that is something that I definitely really like. Next are these stereo speakers. So Google this year has put in some of the best sounding speakers I've heard this year. I definitely would put these in my top 5. So they just sound awesome, great bass quality, and just good mids and highs without any Dolby Atmos or anything like that. So just the raw sound of these speakers here. They do have an adaptive sound on here, which I turn off, which will change with the environment, stuff like that, but I'll just let you hear it. just full of bass, just crazy good bass on here, no distortion, really good mids and highs, just awesome sounding speakers here. So I really like these speakers on this phone, and it translates really well into just playing games and stuff like that. Everything just sounds super crisp and clear on here. It is a really good experience here. So like I said, if you're somebody that, you know, whether you're playing Call of Duty or whatever game you're playing, if you enjoy some really nice sounding speakers, the Pixel 6 Pro speakers are definitely really nice on here this year. Alright, next would be the specs for the Pixel 6 Pro. So I was really happy that Google was going all out this year on a real full flagship, and they did not disappoint. As you can see, we do have now a premium design for the Pixel, and I think this is extremely unique. When you look at iPhones and stuff like that, you know that's an iPhone. You look at a Galaxy phone, you know that's a Galaxy. Now when you look at a Pixel phone, it's got this premium, super unique design with this camera designed here, which I think is awesome. It's full glass and metal, IP68 dust and water resistant. And I think also a really nice highlight with this phone is the Google Tensor chip on here. Now the Tensor chip has not let me down. This phone does not overheat or anything like that. It did pretty well in benchmarks as well, and also gaming experience on here is pretty good too. Like I said, it's a big beautiful display on here. It just makes gaming really awesome. Now I will say that the Tensor chip, since it's a new chip, is not fully optimized yet, like for games like PUBG and stuff like that. But if you check my gaming test out, it does a good job. It's just not optimized to play at the best settings that I know it can play at. But yes, the chip does really good with gaming. It doesn't overheat. Like I said, it does an excellent job running Android. I mean, it just flies through Android extremely smooth. Again, with that 12 gigs of RAM, keeping applications in memory with multitasking and stuff like that, it's just a breeze. I will say that the fingerprint sensor it's not that it doesn't work well, it works fine. But it just doesn't, it's a tap and hold fingerprint sensor, so it's not like a tap fingerprint sensor. So you do have to hold it. So I really wish they would have just went with a physical one if they just, you know, weren't sure about the in-display one, because I believe this is their first in-display one. But it wouldn't be an issue if there was face unlock on this phone, which I heard was coming to this phone. So hopefully if face unlock comes, that'll be awesome. But yeah, so I just like that Google went out, you know, with the bells and whistles on this phone. You also have a really cool battery share feature on here, like you see with a lot of premium phones. So if I put it down, like earbuds, doesn't matter, whatever, you can wirelessly charge this phone up with, you know, no problem. So I mean, Google went all out with this phone as far as bells and whistles, which I was a big fan of, because again, with that Pixel 5 design wise, and you know, it was missing some specs that you would compare it to, you know, other flagships. Alright guys, last would be battery life. So this phone does a phenomenal job when it comes to battery life. So I have zero complaints. It's got a 5003 milliamp battery on here, and it does an excellent job. It gets you all day battery life. So if you're somebody that's worried about your screen on time, this phone, I have never been able to kill this phone in a day, and I think that might have something to do with the stock Android experience along with this massive battery. But you also have on here 30-watt charging, so the phone charges fairly fast as well. And you also have 23-watt wireless charging, and like I said, reverse wireless charging, so you can charge other devices like we saw. So yeah, so battery life is going to be great on here. So overall, I think Google did a really good job with the Pixel 6 Pro. You know, are there some areas that they can improve on? Of course. But yeah, so I think it's a fantastic phone. I've really been enjoying the stock Android experience with all of the little premium stuff on it. So what do you guys think about the Pixel 6 Pro? Be sure to let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.